Relevant Magazine. This is the Relevant Podcast.
I'm tired of contemplating dreams. Give me something that'll feed my needs. I know she suffered too. It'll take its own time. Someday you'll see something's gotta hold on. Something's gotta hold on.
It's the week of Friday, September 15th, 2017, and it's the Relevant Podcast. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and this week's show is brought to you by Squarespace. Whether you need a landing page, a beautiful gallery, a professional blog, or an online store, it's all included with your Squarespace website. Creating a site with Squarespace is a simple, intuitive process. You can add and arrange your content and features with a click of a mouse. You can use their incredible templates and customize them however you want, all without a single plugin. Squarespace is also trusted by hundreds of thousands of savvy shop owners around the world because of their powerful commerce tools. You can track inventory, process orders, and send custom emails in one intuitive interface. And if you ever need help, Squarespace offers 24/7 customer support. We use Squarespace. I like Squarespace.
I'm being quiet because someone on Twitter said I want to see how long they can go without them interrupting, and I'm just like,
And we're at 38 seconds.
And how boring was that for you?
Great job, Eddie. You made it literally less than a minute.
Right, I had 5 jokes queued up, and then I just put them away because apparently they just like to hear Cameron do a nice cold read of a Squarespace ad.
Well, last week, your interruptions did get us down the road toward the dry ice witches potions.
Right. You're welcome.
Yeah.
People wonder what I add to the show. It's that. I just wreck it all.
It wasn't long before we were discussing the ethics of cannibalism.
We were discussing the idea of getting the. You just walked in the podcast studio, a little behind the curtain right now. You just walked in, and we started recording right away.
Right.
We were all here ready to go, and we thought, well, do we just start and I could get a read in, I could get the intros done without him, and maybe get a clean one in the can. And then he can just come when he comes.
I'm going to just say this: the proof is in the pudding, because the advertisers keep coming back.
That's
so
true.
We're doing something right.
Right now, Squarespace is offering Relevant Podcast listeners a special deal. You can start your free trial today at squarespace.com and then enter offer code RELEVANT to get 10% off your first purchase. It's worth it. You'll like it. Go do it. Squarespace, set your website apart. Well, like I said, I'm your host, Cameron. Here with me in our makeshift, temporary Orlando studio, Eddie Big Cat Koffold.
I just don't want to talk.
Over there on the ones and twos, our illustrious producer, my brother, Chandler Strang.
Hello.
On the Skype line from Loverland, Virginia, Jesse Carey.
Hello.
And joining us this week from Nashville, Tennessee, Tyler Huckabee.
Hey, guys.
We have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, we talk to the Lone Bellow, one of my favorite groups. They have a brand new album called Walk Into a Storm, which releases today.
Too soon.
We also have a game coming up with some readers or some listeners are going to join us for a game called Before You Buy a $1,000 iPhone.
Yeah, too
So
soon.
that's coming up later.
Very
Too soon as
timely.
well. Walk Into a Storm, timely theme. This is the first time, guys, we've chatted since Hurricane Irma.
Did they write this album for you guys? Like, how did they know? They've just been
bumped up the release
forever.
To bump up the release.
Yeah, as soon as they
it's
saw that peak
fair.
hurricane season was September, they thought, we got to get this out there.
Oh yeah, we got Harvey, Irma, and Jose coming down the pipe. I mean, it's like this is,
It was really an SEO decision because they knew a lot of people were going to be looking for videos of people walking into a storm. Like when I was watching the Weather Channel, that seemed to be the extent of hurricane coverage this year.
Yeah.
Was like I was unaffected by the storms, but whenever I tuned in, and particularly this weekend when Irma was hitting Florida, I wanted to see how all you guys were doing. So I would tune into the Weather Channel, and every like around the clock, it was people just walking into the wind to demonstrate how strong the wind was. It was pretty impressive coverage.
Zach Williams is watching all that coverage and he's thinking, missed opportunity. I mean, you got Taylor Swift with college football. Zach Williams wanted to be the soundtrack of the Weather Channel storm coverage.
Yeah.
So Walk Into a Storm is coming out today.
I wonder, though, in honesty, if Lone Bellow had to just take a second and go, do we have to rename this? Is it like too soon? Like, no, I think we're fine. But they had to have thought about it.
They had to have.
Right.
The lawyers must have been like, could we at least make it drive into a storm or drive out of a storm? Would that change the album that much?
Yeah.
I'll tell you,
from the storm.
I had Cohen during Hurricane Irma. It hit Orlando around 2 a.m. at peak, but it was like, 8 hours on either side of that, you know. But we definitely walked into the storm. I mean,
it was terrifying.
yeah, we need to make memories. So I took my 7-year-old out into the storm, and we ran around and saw things flying around and made some memories.
You got to do that.
Got to.
Everybody walks
Gotta
out
live
into
on the
it.
edge a little bit. If Zach Williams has taught us anything, you've got to walk into the storm.
That's literally what he has taught me.
That's the message of the album. In the interview, you'll hear, I don't want to give any spoilers away, but he is recommending you walk into a storm.
Your house looks fine.
We were completely unaffected, dude. It was crazy. Like, we didn't lose power. Walked outside afterwards, and all the trees were there. And I literally just had a nice, lovely evening. Cohen went to bed.
I need you to be quiet right now.
I watched La La Land, and then to kind of purge after La La Land, I watched the Godfather trilogy. And ran around outside and posted updates for people.
Like 11 hours of TV, man.
Oh no, it wasn't really anything else to do.
Right.
I expected that the power would go out at some point, so I wanted to kind of like fill up on entertainment before the power went out, and it just never did. So I kept watching.
Conversely, we lost power at 8:00 and still don't have it.
Come on,
it was like 9 p.m.
We still don't have power. And we had...
This is days later that we're recording this. Days later.
So like what day is it right now?
It's Wednesday today.
Yeah, so it's Wednesday. The storm came...
Sunday night.
I'm really out of it. So Sunday night, the storm came out of... Yeah, so Sunday night. So we haven't had power since that night. We haven't had no internet. No wireless. So even if the wireless is on in some places, there's no internet.
Yeah.
And then we walk outside. Well, during the storm... Not fun. We hear this huge bang, and we're like, "Get the kids!" So we all huddle into the middle hallway, and they're just like huddled up. Huge tree fell on like right above my daughter's head.
Wow!
Like no, didn't go through the house, but like it took a turn, and it was resting on the roof. Wow. And when we walk out front, another huge tree from across the street is like literally sitting up against our front window. So I felt like really grateful.
That's crazy.
But it was like. It was crazy town.
It was scary.
We've been cutting trees for a couple of days.
Wow.
Still no power.
So let me ask you this, Eddie. Have you been showering? Like, are you just doing the cold showers?
Well, yeah. So my brother has power, so we've been going over to their house and
John David was doing the Chris Farley, the maniac.
Yeah,
that's how he was showering.
Sometimes you do that. So it's been, it has been no fun, but also, I mean, compared to the rest of like the people to the south of us, like the Keys are just gone. The Virgin Islands are just...
Yeah, the Caribbean's gone. Actually, they were just getting into the Keys last night, and most of the structures most of them are okay in the Keys. But I mean, all infrastructure is gone, and power and food.
Conversely, your house has been a little too chilly.
It's just a little too chilly.
A little touch too cold.
Well, that night, I expected the power to go out at some point, so I freezed the house out.
Right.
So I wanted to make it cold, so then when I could last... however long. It never went out. Right. So I'm going to bed. I'm chilly. And all my updates, I was in like thick hoodies.
Right. HelloFresh actually sent you a few extra boxes on accident because UPS never stops running in your area.
Yeah.
It's just been a really nice time for you.
It really has been a time of solitude, reflection.
I haven't shaved in a couple days. Sunburnt. I'm very dirty.
My rear neighbor, none of this neighborhood lost power because we have buried power lines, but we went outside. My rear neighbor had left his Tesla on the street, and 2 trees fell on top of it.
That is such a baffling decision because I've seen your neighbor's house and I've seen him pull the Tesla into the garage. I only say that to say he has room to park it inside. Yet he has not only a car that's very expensive, but a very expensive car that it's difficult to own. There's like a waiting list for those things. Yeah. And he parks it outside under a tree in a hurricane. It was a very curious decision.
The funny thing was, I feel sorry for him, but I mean, the funny thing was, we didn't lose trees around here. So there was only like 2 trees that fell, and they fell both on top of his car. Like they just...
Wow.
It's almost
left and to the right.
It's almost if God was doing a little smiting.
God hates Tesla.
Serve the homeless. Do something with your money.
Cameron, I have another theory, and because I don't know your neighbor personally, I mean, I've waved to him, but I just know myself, and I've thought of a lot of ways. Like, if I had no ethical or moral issues with it, could I pull off crimes and enrich myself? This smells to me of insurance fraud. He's like, look, I got this car. I've got a couple years of use out of it. I got a big policy on it. It's a Tesla, man. van, and he's going to go park it between two trees, right, in 100-mile-an-hour storm.
Yeah.
If he came up this week and he was driving like the new model, like the Model X or whatever, and he's like, oh, insurance, is totaled. Just my luck. Just my luck. I'm just saying, it's the perfect crime. It's the perfect crime. He's been waiting for that storm.
The problem was, and his fatal mistake was that where the trees, fell, there's just perfect chainsaw cut marks.
Exactly.
Like, it couldn't have been more clear. Like, he still has the metal chain on it from pulling him over.
Yeah, but his excuse was like, look, I was trying to do the smart thing and trim these bad boys before the storm came. Wouldn't you know, winds picked up right when I had about 3/4 of it done. I had to get inside. I had to be safe. I had no time to park the car.
Yeah, 1 a.m. trimming.
I'll tell you, yesterday and the day before I was driving around, went to go check on our office, went to go check on some other properties, and it really is jarring to traverse the city and see so many major roads like shut down, trees, and I don't know how long the cleanup. And again, Central Florida was not hit that hard. I mean, we were hit by a hurricane, but it covered the entire state. But they're far worse damage.
As much flooding and storm surges and stuff. It's trees and power.
Right. But I mean, like, just the trees that are down, because there's a lot of trees in Florida. If you've ever been here, you lose a quarter of them, and these are big oaks and huge things, and they fall over a road. It's going to take a while to clean all that up, and for those, even just this area to get back to normal. When I went downtown to check on the office, it was like this weird, eerie emptiness, this post-apocalyptic kind of like nobody was out, but things were kind of open. A few things were open. Dude, yesterday, this is how much the storm has impacted me. I had to eat lunch at Burger King.
I'm so sorry.
By choice.
So sorry.
The Chick-fil-A line was so long. I had to go down the block.
Did you get chicken fries?
No,
I told you to get the chicken fries.
No, here's what happened. I ordered a double cheeseburger.
They're French fries full of chicken.
I ordered a double cheeseburger and a Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Just a clean, simple order. I get up there, it's $11. And they handed me a Whopper and stuff. This is why you don't go to Burger King. They can't even get an order right. And it was a whole to-do.
Man, I'm so sorry for
I
your
know.
loss.
It was really kind of tough.
I had for dinner yesterday. I had cheese rice cakes. That's
not a food.
That's what hasn't gone bad.
That's packing material,
right?
Yeah, you know when he says cheese rice cakes, that it got so desperate that Eddie actually ate pieces of styrofoam that he put shakeable Parmesan cheese on. The only nutrition he had is in the form of Parmesan cheese, which he threw on packing peanuts and consumed.
I'm really sorry, man.
Oh yeah, we'll make it. It's been.
You're making memories.
I suppose that's a way of looking
that's
at it.
the only way.
Very, very bad ones, but memories.
Very, very bad.
Hey, I mean, it's context. It's like you can't. It's like you can't really be happy unless you've experienced sadness to understand and appreciate the happiness, right?
Nice.
So, even your girls, remember the time the tree almost fell on you?
Well, for kids, kids, it rules because it's all just we're gonna go stay at our cousin's house for 2 days and just eat junk. Yeah, this is pretty
sleepover.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, Dad's protecting the house from looters, starving to death and subsisting on nothing but packing peanuts and what little Parmesan cheese is left.
I noticed this morning, my lawn guy came this morning, so the city's coming back to life.
I was wondering, so I found out yesterday, I got a call from my parents. They are going down to taking their annual trip to their timeshare in Orlando, which is out near SeaWorld, I guess. Is Orlando going to be up and ready for their vacation by this time next week?
God, I hope so.
Oh yeah.
I've been super worried about them.
I'm getting this kind of
I really do care.
Says the guy whose dinner last night was a little capsule of oregano that he found in the spice rack. That's all there was left in the house. He had to eat the spice rack. That's all that was left.
Eddie went from depicting this the road, Viggo Mortensen pushing a shopping cart with a little kid in it down the road, to by this time next week, they're probably going to be eating grapes out of the bathtub.
Yeah, no, I think your parents will be fine.
It was an interesting few days. Just obviously CNN was broadcasting from Miami from Wednesday on.
Yeah.
It was just I think obviously the devastation of Harvey got everybody on high alert.
Yes.
Hurricanes. it's just very different of what happened in Houston than here, because Houston, somebody once described as a concrete jungle built on top of a swamp.
Yeah.
And so it was already floodplains for a majority of the country. Kind of all those rivers kind of went down into that region. And then it's the fourth largest, soon to be third largest city in America. And it's just covered in concrete. There's nowhere for the water to go that naturally would be there. And so the devastation that happened in Houston was really, a lot of it was man-caused.
Yeah, if you have to take an intense hit from a hurricane, Orlando is one of the better places.
That's right.
Because we have the infrastructure for it. We're
inland.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's really,
Yeah.
joking aside, it is really rough out still in Houston and just south of us and places.
In the Caribbean.
Oh,
I mean,
it's terrible.
the Caribbean, what we saw, I mean, the building codes aren't up to the U.S. standards. Obviously, even back in 92, Hurricane Andrew, which devastated Homestead, Miami area, worst storm that ever hit Florida, changed our building codes. So like all the, modern growth and stuff like that can withstand these things.
Yep.
Our infrastructure largely is built for it. And so we were able to recover pretty quickly, except for Eddie. Eddie's neighborhood. Eddie's neighborhood is the one exception for the metro area.
It's my block. It's my block. They're doing a whole fundraiser for
martial law. You guys are just Lord of the Flies over there. Eddie's now president of his neighborhood.
Yeah, and there's a whole governance system in place now that I didn't fully get into, but it has. Jesse's been very informative in kind of getting that all going.
Eddie not only has been using the chainsaw to clear the trees, but it's also his primary means of taking power in the neighborhood. I mean, no one's going to mess with the guy with a chainsaw. He's the only one who has one. So,
conversely, in my neighborhood, chainsaws are acts of kindness. My neighbor, I did have devastation. A bush on the side of the house was on the line between me and my neighbor's house fell over toward the neighbor's house.
Oh.
He cleaned it up, chopped it down, dragged it out to the street for me, and then noticed that I had a branch that had broken in my backyard. Didn't want to go in my backyard for me, but left his chainsaw on my porch for me.
Conversely,
That's very nice.
I have been trying to figure out how to borrow a chainsaw for the better part of 3 days, and finally got my neighbor's 6-inch pole saw yesterday, and it broke all day long. So I'd say we're living about the same life.
I have an extra free chainsaw in my hall if you would like to take it home with you.
I will have to.
Cameron's neighborhood has just been handing out chainsaws. I don't know if you've heard. They were like, listen, we over prepared. We got a bunch of free chainsaws. So, we understand that most people in the neighborhood are inside the AC catching up on some TV shows because the whole city shut down and just really using this time to relax and stuff.
Right.
So we're going door to door with these chainsaws, but we were just going to throw them in the garbage, but you might as well take
the
one.
weather was lovely the day after the storm. Cole and I went swimming. It was just
beautiful.
A beautiful day.
It's very nice.
Nice day off.
Can't go swimming in our pool.
Yeah, because of the logs.
Full of logs and palmetto leaves. And then you have to shock the pool because it changes all the
animals.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Do you have like home damage though? Like that tree that landed on your...
Yeah, we'll have... The water can't come in the roof. That's good. But we've got some roof issues that we'll have to fix.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you going to do?
Oh, that's rough because they were actually, Cameron's neighborhood was handing out roofing supplies, like extra shingles. Really, people were just walking around on roofs.
Our local Home Depot had too much stuff, so they just were going door to door. Hey, need anything?
Right. People have just started to do chainsaw carvings out in the park because they just don't know what to do with the time. So they've purposefully cut down trees and are just making like little bears and little things that they're going to sell by the road.
I mean, they're using the roofing supplies to just cut up with the chainsaws and make some really cool ornaments for Cameron and his neighbors. But it's tough to hear what's happening in your neck of the woods, man. I mean, that's
the chainsaws are going to be for like stocking stuffers at Christmas. Like, Cohen, guess what? 3 new chainsaws, little buddy.
They brought run like snow machines, and there's just like iced water everywhere, and it's just cold and fun, and kids are playing in it.
Yeah.
Do you have like, because we had like an ice cream truck go around the neighborhood yesterday.
Yeah. Well, they can't because of all the trees that are down there.
The alligators and
they
walking
can't come
around
through our road.
All right, well, it's time for our look back at what happened while Eddie was without power this week in culture and entertainment.
Yeah.
It's time for...
In case you missed it.
Actually, in case you missed it, you probably did miss all of this, Eddie.
Probably.
So here you go.
What
this
is
is
it?
for you.
Yep.
Hey, in case you missed it, this week, Browns players, Cleveland Browns, linked arms with police officers before their game during the national anthem. During the preseason, members of the Browns gained national attention when they all kneeled together in prayer before a game during the national anthem. People were upset about the protest and stuff. Well, following the game, linebacker Christian Kirksey told reporters, "We were saying a prayer. If anyone was wondering what was going on, we were saying a prayer. We were praying over the country, praying over things that's going on." However, the demonstrations have been controversial. Earlier this week, Cleveland's police union said they would protest the pregame flag ceremony entirely and called the players who kneeled in prayer disrespectful. But on Sunday, before the team's home opener, the players created their own show of unity. As they ran out of the tunnel onto the field, they were joined by police officers, members of the military, and first responders who all linked arms together during the national anthem. So there you go. That was nice.
I got to say, if you really want to do something controversial, I think people should start protesting during the halftime of the game. So like the old people are running out doing like the dance or whatever they do.
Yeah.
And you're just the lone football player kneeling on the sideline. Because at this
Wait,
point,
hey, hold on. The old people are running out to do the dance or whatever they do. What games are you going to?
you know how they have the halftime show, and it's like the local senior center, and it's very cute and
Hold on,
endearing.
I actually really do think this is a
yeah.
Orlando exclusive. No, honestly. For Orlando Magic games, what he's referring to is sometimes during a timeout, like every 5th or 6th game, to be funny, we have the Magic Silver Stars.
No. For you, it's to be funny.
No. It's always funny.
They're taking it very seriously. But you're saying the Silver Stars aren't in on the joke, Eddie.
No. They are totally in on the joke because the Silver Stars is from like local retirees and they do their little routine, but they always do this like nice little dance routine, and then 2/3 of the way through their little dance routine, they'll put on like Miami booty bass music and they'll dance all raunchy and stuff, and the crowd goes crazy. They're totally in on it.
I'm just saying, if you really want to cause a stir at this point, protest during that. Right? Because everybody's expecting you to kneel during the national anthem or lock arms with, police officers or whatnot.
Gotcha.
That's it. That's my big stance. I think
I was going to say that's one sizzling hot take there.
Hey man, I'm doing the best I can. Getting about 3 hours of sleep a night. My whole body hurts
because of just all the sweating.
All the sweating.
Just laying there in a pool of sweat, just unable, stagnant air, unable to breathe.
The sweating and the fear.
The fear of the looters, because you don't have a chainsaw.
Hear them milling around outside. And then you wake up like every hour and just rev the chainsaw just to let them know, like,
just to
the chainsaw
remind
guy lives here.
Right, you're at the president's home. This isn't where this is going to happen.
They just kind of mill around.
Yeah,
they're like sniffing around for anybody with extra spices and stuff.
Yeah, who has any oregano left?
In case you missed it, Kristen Bell performed Frozen songs in an Orlando hurricane shelter. She was in Orlando this weekend to film a new movie, but found herself hunkered down as Hurricane Irma battered the region. Instead of just hanging out in her hotel room, though, she decided to lift the spirits of evacuees taking shelter in a local school. You might know, if you have children, that Kristen Bell voiced the character Anna in Frozen.
Yeah.
So she told the crowd, "I hope maybe some of these songs are running through your head the rest of the day and will take your mind off Irma." She also visited with elderly residents who were evacuated to a Disney hotel. On Instagram, she posted, "Every person I passed today was assisting someone else. Hashtag neighbors helping neighbors. It was beautiful to see. Sad that a hurricane has to bring out the best in everyone, but happy that the community will be holding hands through this." Here's a clip of her impromptu performance.
Do you want to build a snowman or ride a bike around the halls? I think some company is overdue. Started talking to the pictures on the walls. Hey there, Johnny, it gets a little lonely on these empty rooms, just watching the hours tick by.
What you can't hear in the background is Eddie rummaging around for any leftover food that the Disney hotel might have had.
Right, because she was in the Swan Hotel,
Yes.
which had power and food, and they're fine.
Yeah,
The
the hotel staff was like, "Hey, what neighborhood does that guy live in? Get him out of here!" And Eddie's just running out with sweet and low packets.
And I'm
Be
trying
sweet
to
and
like
lower,
join in,
yeah, will sustain me.
trying to sing the guy parts of the song. We finish each other's sandwiches. That's what I was going to say. And she's just not having it. She just knows I'm there to try to get something for the block.
Hey, in case you missed it, Pharrell, Justin Timberlake, Chris Stapleton, and others will play a Unity concert in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Yeah.
So Charlottesville natives, the Dave Matthews Band, have helped organize this event. It's called an Evening of Music and Unity. It's going to bring together those artists, The Roots, Ariana Grande, Brittany Howard, Cage the Elephant, who seems oddly out of place there.
Yeah.
Like huge A-list and then Cage the Elephant. It's going to happen on September 24th. The concert's free if you want to go. You can put in a request for tickets online, but attendees are encouraged to donate to the Concert for Charlottesville Fund at the Charlottesville Area Community Foundation. The charity helps victims of Charlottesville violence, first responders, and community organizers.
I think it killed Jesse a little bit that you mentioned Dave Matthews Band on the show, but then weren't able to make fun of me because it's actually for something really beautiful.
Right.
Jesse,
I
you
know.
doing okay?
I was gonna say, Eddie, how pumped are you that that you get to go see Dave Matthews?
I'm going to
Band?
just tell you that
For free.
Dave is back. Dave is back.
Dave Matthews Band, Pharrell, Justin Timberlake, Ariana Grande, Chris Stapleton. I mean, they're back.
Think of Dave.
But think
and
about
Chris.
it. They had to throw the event to put themselves in that lineup.
That was my question. Would they have got invited if it weren't for two things? One, being from Charlottesville,
Yeah.
and two, organizing the event. Like, was Justin Timberlake and Pharrell like, do we really need, should we call Dave Matthews Band here? Like, you know, they're the ones throwing the party. That's why they got invited to it.
Right.
You know, they knew the only way that they were going to go is if they were the party organizer. You know,
That's Eddie's strategy in running his neighborhood.
Yeah.
He hoards all the food and then invites people over to it, and then he's
Yeah.
invited to
We
the
just
meal.
pass it out. It
Then.
was like the mafia handing out turkeys at Thanksgiving. Like they just come up to the door, sir, please, may I? And then I just hand them a little, little bit of garlic, little chili paste,
little packing peanuts.
little what we got. Thank you, sir. And then they walk out the door.
Eddie has a trash bag full of packing peanuts that he's lightly seasoned with Parmesan that has made him very popular in his neighborhood.
I'm going to tell you though.
It's filling. It's filling.
I'm going to tell you.
Don't fill your stuff. It's terrible. You're poisoning yourself. But I will say this: you won't sleep hungry tonight. Yeah,
You won't sleep because of the sweat and all the heat and the stagnant air.
and the maniac revving his chainsaw every hour. But you will not be hungry. You will not have the. I'll say this: you'll not have the sensation of hunger. You may get violently ill, but it will not be of hunger. You have a belly full of packing peanuts.
I started to pay people in the neighborhood a percentage in order to guard the house.
Right.
And there's a lot of loyalty being built up, and they are in turn getting a percentage and then handing it over to me. It's really more of a kind of Sopranos-esque situation happening.
So you're not inviting yourself to the party, making yourself an A-lister, even though you're not anymore. You are just consolidating power.
I call it the Dave Matthews Band system. You're like the Dave Matthews of your neighborhood, Eddie.
Yeah.
That was a great thing to be in the 90s.
That's exactly right.
They would pass things out
Yeah.
at their, if you've ever been to a Dave Matthews concert, you know that things are passed out in the crowd. But you don't know is
Yeah.
that the Dave Matthews Band is actually the one passing them out.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody's like, oh, I want to go to a concert because,
Yeah.
things get passed around.
It's like Boyz II Men handing out roses. They're just walking up there with just buckets of,
Things to pass
Cameron,
around.
When you say, I just want clarity that things are passed around at Dave Matthews concert. You mean like carabiners and sandals with like 35 straps
Hacky
on
sacks.
them and life is good stickers for the backs of Jeeps, right? That's what you're referring to?
Those weird foot gloves where your toes are poking out.
Yeah,
those
exactly.
are not good.
Yeah.
One white person's dread for good luck. Everybody has to touch it, and then when everybody's touched it, Dave Matthews comes out and plays Ants Marching. It's very exciting.
I bet Chris Stapleton's going to sing with Dave. That would sound amazing.
You think?
I do. There's no punchline. There's no joke. I just think it'd be awesome.
Well, Chris singing with anybody is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, he sang with Justin Timberlake and it was amazing. He can sing with anyone.
Yeah. No, it's going to be great.
Hey, in case you missed it, another movie about the Apostle Paul is in the works.
Paul's so hot right now.
It's called Paul, Apostle of Christ, and it's going to star James Faulkner. He's known for roles in like Game of Thrones and Downton Abbey. He's in the title role, as well as Jim Caviezel, who actually famously played Jesus in The Passion. He's going to be playing Luke this time, so don't get confused. It's not a trilogy. It's not.
I was going to say that seems like an odd decision. It seems like the one guy you want to avoid in one of these biblical remakes is Jim Caviezel. Not because he's not a fine actor. He's
a fantastic
great.
actor.
He's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the one thing he's known for is playing Jesus. It just seems confusing that one, if you really want him in the movie, have him play Jesus, but don't have him play like another character or just cast someone else. It doesn't. This was a very curious decision for me for the Jim Caviezel thing.
A studio executive told Deadline, the scripting film dives deep into the final months before Paul's execution under Nero as he reconciles his faith with his past persecution of the church. So it's a great angle. I mean, not the normal Paul story.
Yeah.
It's great. The movie will release in 2018, but it's not Hollywood's only adaptation of the story of Paul that's happening. A couple years ago, it was announced that Hugh Jackman would play Paul in another film based on the New Testament writer's life. So
I hope he sings. He's got a lovely voice.
Hugh Jackman,
Yeah.
as we
Paul
learned in
the
Les
musical?
Mis.
Oh man, it was so great.
And also
Paul the
Russell
musical.
Crowe.
Oh yeah, the Russell Crowe in that movie.
Russell Crowe.
That was he's playing. He's playing at the Charlottesville
He's playing
concert.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, Russell Crowe is. He's
Russell
going to
Crowe-
sing with Chris Stapleton.
No, Chris would never sing with DMB.
Oh, DFA.
I mean, I love Dave, but they can pull a Russell Crowe at this point. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. In case you missed it, Father John Misty performed Things It Would Have Been Helpful to Know Before the Revolution this week on Late Night with Seth Meyers. The performance featured a full orchestra, and it didn't disappoint. Here's a clip.
Industry and commerce topple to their knees. The gears of progress halted, the underclass set free. The super ego shatters with the ideologies. The obscene injunction to enjoy life disappears as in a dream. And as we return to our native state, to our primal scene, the temperature.
As you know, astute Relevant podcast listeners, the current issue, the new issue of Relevant, has a cover story with Father John Misty. And I'll tell you, he opened up about faith and the church in a way that was frankly stunning.
And Seth Meyers,
go check it out.
slowly becoming one of my favorites.
Yeah, he's my favorite.
He's on really late, so I can't ever watch him.
Well, that's why he's Chandler's favorite. Chandler misses all the main ones, and he's in the late night. So he's got him and Corden.
It's perfect.
And he's like, out of those two, I like Seth Meyers.
You know, I love James
content.
Corden, and I think he's so nice. What I cannot take is both of the famous people on the couch at the same time, kind of being co-interviewed. It is
awkward.
too uncomfortable for me, and I like
It's like
uncomfortable.
a
humor.
British thing. They do that on British late night talk shows.
Yeah.
This is America.
But Seth Meyers, I love it because he's just like, he's totally fine having not changed his delivery from like Weekend Update. Like his old set him up, knock him down, one-liner, jokes about headlines.
What I appreciate about Seth Meyers is when they tried to do the show, he came out and it was traditional.
Yep.
He stood there, he did his monologue, he did, went over to the set. And it felt like about 3 or 4 months in, I mean, it was not very long in, they just said, you know what? Reboot, and they went on a little hiatus, and they came back and they had changed the set. They flipped the set, and he just sits at his desk, and they just doubled down on, you're great at Weekend Update.
Yeah, do
We're
what
not
you
going
do,
to try
do
to
it
make
well.
you do what other people do. Just do your thing.
Yeah.
And they found their legs really fast. And that kids is a lesson to be an individual.
Be an individual.
You don't follow others. You just set your own path.
Yeah, which is Weekend Update, which was started in the 70s.
And you listen to Lorne Michaels.
Right. Do exactly.
You do what he tells you.
Right. And follow a tried
And follow the path he has for you.
Yes.
So now we're getting into the Jesus thing. There's an intent for your life and a plan. You follow that.
Yep. Did you
Lorne
hear
Michaels.
Did you hear there's going to be a Lorne Michaels biopic?
No.
Yeah, Jim Caviezel playing Lorne Michaels.
Oh, jeez.
Hi-yo. All that for that joke.
I was going to say that lesson works fine and well until you're James Corden and you want to bring two people out at the same time to sit on the couch. Then it's actually, you should have followed the path that was set before you because it's just awkward and terrible. I always turn a show off before multiple guests come out.
Always. All right. Well, that'll do it. I don't know if there's any other news or anything else happened this week, but I was busy watching my Netflix marathons and my trilogies and stuff.
I have one more thing before we're just, since we're in banter time. I know we're doing an iPhone related game later, but real quick, the other big thing that happened that we didn't touch on in this opening segment was the new Apple release, like the new iPhone and all these gadgets. But the thing that bothered me about the whole presentation was the fact that, I'm sure you guys saw this, they're changing the name of Apple stores to town squares.
No, that can't be
like
true.
They said that from now on, they're not going to refer to them as stores, but as town squares where people gather. Did that rub anyone else the wrong way?
I thought
did anyone else think that was super lame?
I just thought that was their philosophical evolution, that they are wanting to create that dynamic at their retail establishments, not that they were going to call it that.
No. They explicitly said they're renaming it the town square now. The Apple Store is no more. You're living in the past.
I thought that was a part of the store. Like, here in this area would be the Genius Bar. Here's the town square. Here's the whatever. I thought that I missed that they were renaming it. That's interesting.
Wow. All the employees you have to call pastor now. It's gotten very, very philosophical and odd.
I watched the entire thing because I have plenty of power and time on my hands. I
didn't even know it was out. Till
nothing but time to relax.
Nothing but time. Work wrapped up yesterday, and I popped it on. Watched the full 2 hours.
Having an iced coffee.
Oh, beautiful coffee. Made myself a nice hot dinner. Mm-hmm. Put on a hoodie because it's a little chilly in the house.
Actually,
too hot. And,
actually made too much coffee. Just had to dump some out in the storm drain because Overmade it, didn't want it, and just dumped it away.
Sat down with some little cheese rice cakes as a snack, just because it's a nice snack.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, you're already full. Your belly's full. You just want a little cheese taste.
Yeah, I actually did eat cheese last night.
Yeah,
I had some extra cheese. I had too much cheese.
Yeah, almost too much perishable goods.
That's true.
You had to get a deep freezer.
I'm going to pack you a bag when you go home. I will send some perishable cold things with you.
What will I do with them?
Well, you will eat them with your family when you get home before they perish.
Before the
food perishes.
Okay, yeah.
No, I watched the whole thing. I thought it was interesting. Obviously, we as a brand, as a platform, are not, we don't advocate for materialism and acquiring things. I am personally more of a gadget head than we typically cover. So I find all these things very interesting, very compelling. I was actually impressed with the evolutions, the lineup. Now, the thing about Apple obviously isn't they aren't the first to market with stuff. I mean, everything that they're doing, other, Roku's doing with the Apple TV is doing, and, but the way Apple does it, and, when they do it right, and it works. Yeah. And it works seamlessly together. I was impressed with the lineup. I thought this will be probably a good new season for Apple.
Yeah.
Kind of get some energy back.
I can't wait to see the new phone. It looks like a real advance in technology.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see if the face recognition works.
I heard something interesting about this, that they, like Johnny Ive and the guys that were working behind the scenes, the scuttlebutt around the office, the crew this morning was that the story is that that phone, because the 8 is what we're in line for number wise. Yeah. That phone being the 10 was actually the phone they were planning to release in 2 years. And back in January, they started talking internally, like they knew where they were going down the road. Yeah. Could we fast track this? And could we release it in time for the 10-year anniversary of the iPhone later this year?
End of our podcast.
And if you listen to the talk, they actually talked about the fact that hundreds of Apple employees were working through the night before the announcement to be ready for this moment. Like they were scrambling, and they weren't sure even weeks ago if they would have things ready in time to make the announcement that it's actually going to be releasing this fall.
I feel like the coach in you is going to just hold that story in your back pocket as you yell at Jesse to finish his article or whatever. Right?
They skipped the 9 entirely and were able to finish the 10. Yeah.
Yeah. Finish writing your top 10 youth director looks article ASAP.
I'm a big fan of like their products, obviously, and their ability to continually challenge the way we think about our relationship with technology. Like, I have no issue with that, but I do feel like, and I don't know why the particular thing of renaming their retail stores town squares as if they have this sort of like beneficial community element. It just kind of showed me like how self-important, I feel like
that's right,
Apple has become, and they've lost a little of their whimsy and self-awareness, I feel like.
Self-congratulatory was the theme of the night. The over-applause for very mundane feature announcements, it was like, okay. Like, honestly, it kind of wore on me, and I'm as much of an Apple fan as anybody. I agree with you. It was very self-congratulatory and self-important.
That was sort of the, like, when Steve Jobs was, and this isn't like a Steve Jobs era verse, but like he really set the tone, and he would do a few minutes of here's our sales, here's our numbers, but then it was mostly just like, and now I'm going to blow your mind with something.
We're going to rethink things now. Let me inspire you. Let me challenge you. And it wasn't like I just feel, I agree with you completely, Jesse, that like there's a little self-importance going on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that'll do it for In Case You Missed It. Stay tuned. Up next, Slices.
Whipping the cool. Don't try to walk in my shoes. Superman with them tight jeans. I teach life in the booth. She said she wanted guala guala. Check this ring on my finger, no holla. I had to leave them zinies in the bottle. Found them bottom now, full throttle.
One way, downtown. Oh me, oh my. Sauce, Alfredo, buckets. Can't go, take off. They know I land. Can't coast. Start up, then invest. 3 stacks, we break out cash. Pick up the vibe, yeah. Daily I die, sick of the mind, yeah. I come on down from the side. Intellectual, that's what they get with your eye. Don't get them hyping that boy, yeah. We will not lie to that boy, yeah. We do not wait for support, no voters loud in my chords.
You're listening to Derek Minor. The song is Take Off, which is what Eddie yells to the people who come to his front yard milling around in the middle of the night.
As he's wildly swinging a chainsaw at them.
It's featuring Ty, Brazel, Cannon, and KB. At the beginning of the podcast, you heard The Money War with the song Hold On, which is also Eddie's.
What we're a part of right now.
All right. It's time for Slices. What do you have, Jesse?
All right. Well, I'm all about companies that find new, interesting ways to advertise their products. Just moving on. Like, we get banner blindness online. We see ads for things. We see stuff on TV. So Old Spice recently made headlines because they put out a casting call, crowdsourced this project where they were gonna they announced that they were gonna do Old Spice the movie, a feature length film about Old Spice. So obviously it got a lot of people curious. How do you make a movie about deodorant? And how do you make a feature-length movie that budgets for movies are huge? So how do you make this anyway that will be a smart business decision to advertise the product?
Did you hear who got cast as Mr. Spice? Jim Caviezel.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of work these days.
Jack of all trades.
So the movie was recently released, and people were very eager to see what Old Spice the movie would be. And they released a film to promote a product, which is their invisible Old Spice spray. So it's a spray that you spray on, and it's invisible. Well, it won't like stain your clothes, which anyone who's had that happen, it's a pretty good product. But either way, the movie was called Invisible World, and the premise of the movie is that aliens have come and sprayed an invisible spray that makes everything invisible. The great thing about that, if you're making a movie, is that nothing shows up on screen because everything is invisible. So essentially what they did is they created a 2-hour radio drama comedy using people that they found online that just had a voiceover acting, and it's actually pretty funny. This is one of the perfect examples of a company, unlike Apple, that is totally self-aware and realizes how ridiculous an ad campaign can be and how ridiculous their product is. So you can watch the whole, well, I say watch. There's only one portion of the movie, a few seconds of someone in a green bodysuit on a green screen that comes in. But you can listen to the whole radio drama, Invisible World now. Like I said, it's actually pretty funny. And like I said, for me, this is an example of a company who doesn't take itself too seriously and was able to pull off something that I think was a pretty funny bit in the internet era.
Old Spice, I don't even know anybody that wears it, but their marketing is on point.
I thought of that the other day. Axe too. I don't know anybody who would check out with a bottle of Axe.
Yeah,
but they have enough money to make a ton of commercials.
But I feel like Old Spice marketing even works for us. Like the Old Spice guy, he was really funny.
Imagine before. Remember the brand before these funny commercial era. Like this is the power of hiring the right ad agency. Right. Because Old Spice was like, ooh, dad gift.
It was like Stetson.
Yeah, it was like Stetson. Exactly.
Right.
And now it's like cool. But
well, it's like
still
when
don't
they
know
hired,
who buys it, but
Yeah, when
I buy it. I buy it.
Yeah,
I'm
I
a
use
faithful
Old
Old
Spice.
Spice purchaser.
Oh, of course
Yeah.
you are. Are you too, Chandler?
I'm the guy.
Oh, that's who buys it.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got to be another layer of cool from us.
The best people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only humanity's finest minds. But when they hired like Tim and Eric to do the ads, and they had like the Terry Crews campaign, they did make you rethink how entertaining ads for deodorant could be. And like you said, they made it relevant again. Where I still think of Stetson as one of those. They come in like a plastic box at the drugstore, or like a thing at the drugstore that has like a cologne, a deodorant, and one other thing that you buy is like a last minute Christmas gift. Where Old Spice is now everywhere.
Yep.
I kind of want to smell it again to see if it like, because that's what it comes down to,
The
right?
Chandler's right there. Just go sniff them.
Come smell.
Lift up your, hey Chandler, lift up your arm real quick for Eddie.
That's Old Spice.
All right, Tyler, what do you have?
All right, so PRRI has put together what they are saying is the largest survey of American religious and denominational identity ever. And it found some pretty surprising things, especially I think for our demographic. The biggest one being white Christians, who just 4 decades ago comprised 80% of the country, today make up just 43%. First time in history that white Christians have not been made up the majority of the country.
Wow.
In 2006, Protestants accounted for nearly a full quarter of the American population. Today, they make up just 17%. Most of the demographics has to do with the shrinking has to do with a loss of a majority white Christian identity in this country. While other ethnicities like the black Protestant population has been holding pretty steady at 8% for about 40 years now. One other thing that they found that I thought was especially notable was white Christians are aging. Other religions like Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists, and even religiously unaffiliated are all significantly younger than white Christian groups. 42% of Muslims, 36% of Hindus, and 35% of Buddhists are all under 30 years old, while only 11% of white evangelical Protestants are under 30.
What? 11% are under 30?
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
It kind of is.
Is that in an adult range, or do they count children with that? Because that's insane.
All it says is under 30. Yeah, all it says is under 30. So it's a huge shift in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, and looking at the global population, I mean, we spend a lot of time over in the Middle East and stuff, and like looking at the birth rates of, like, let's say specifically in Israel, of the non-Jewish Arab citizens of Israel, their birth rate is significantly higher than the Jewish citizens of Israel, and so they are even talking about demographic shifts in Israel, and how it's almost impossible future casting 5, 10, 15 years for it to be a Jewish state and also be democratic and stuff, because of the next generation or other religions are growing much faster than the Jewish religion. It's interesting to see that happening here in the U.S. with Christianity. I mean, I don't think it's that surprising, but that kind of a drop in that short amount of time.
Why do you say it's not surprising? Because I didn't think so either, but I'm curious.
I don't think it's surprising that Christianity as a whole is dropping in its adherence and population adherence in the U.S.
You think it's a marketing problem? Or is this
we need the Old Spice company to take it on.
They need to get Terry Crews and Tim and Eric on this. No, I think it's a culmination, Eddie, of two things. One is the trends where now people are especially in our country and in a lot of Western countries too, are getting married older, and they're having less kids, they're having fewer children, and they're having children later in life. So just as like a general population, for a lot of things are aging up. So I think that's one thing. But the other thing too is, we've seen repeatedly that young evangelicals are leaving the church of their youth in higher rates than any previous generation for a culmination of reasons, whether it's like a quote unquote marketing reason, or that they just don't align with values. And one of the values that you see a constant disalignment with is how many churches have traditionally aligned themselves with certain political activities and political parties that don't necessarily align with what a lot of millennials consider their personal values.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, Eddie, what do you got?
Well, I think it's funny that we're talking about brands remarketing themselves, because this is a slice about Kmart, of all places, which I guess.
I thought you were going to basically bring your manifesto for your new rule in your neighborhood because that's all you've been thinking about for the last 5 days.
No, I actually got out of myself for just a couple seconds to talk about someone else.
Eddie's Magna Carta. He's going to...
These are the 12 rules.
The 12 rules.
Most of them involve what you do, what you should not do with his oregano.
Yeah.
Like if you...
It says it's the preservation
you're not
of
allowed
food.
to take it to Dave Matthews concerts.
Right. Yeah.
I've made that mistake before. One night in the clink, and I'll never do that again.
In the clink. So Kmart,
One night in Dave Matthews jail, a place where you do not want to go.
You don't want to go to Disney jail or Dave Matthews jail. If Zach Williams has taught us anything.
So Kmart, I'm just saying if Jesse pops in again, we good? Okay,
Yeah,
Kmart
continue, please.
is rebranding the concept of larger sizes in women's clothing. And I thought, oh, I wonder why they're doing this because I haven't really ever thought about it. So People magazine reports that the big box store chain is changing the name of their women's size clothing that was previously known as plus size to fabulously sized. Okay, fine. And so I was kind of like, I'm reading the story and I was kind of throwing it away and I was like, oh, that's fine. I mean, it's marketing. I'm sure for some people that will be significant.
But they had to focus group this, so that is being positively received by their consumers, I assume.
Right. But they're saying that the average American woman is between size 16 and 18. And what was really interesting that Kmart is doing is they actually said that the younger generation, I'm going to just stop reading this because I do a terrible job when I read it, is that the younger generation of people that they focus grouped actually said, don't want any label, just it's clothing. So there's a pair of jeans there and it's from size, whatever the smallest, size is to whatever size they carry. It's just all the sizes that they have in one
why
place.
Separate it? Yeah.
And I really had never thought about that. But so Kmart is going to start doing that, except that the older generation wanted the label. They want the people that shopped there want to shop in a section that's called fabulously sized or plus size. So there was something in the generational shift. Like the older Kmart customers wanted that its own section labeled. So they're taking some of the SKUs that typically an older consumer would want and making its own section. But generally, Kmart is getting rid of any plus size label because to say something is plus size is to say that it is, above some average. And that is it seems kind of mean. I never actually thought about it, but it's like awful thing. Why isn't it just here's a brand of shirt that we sell and every size option?
You have small all the way up to triple extra large.
Yeah.
I mean, fine.
Or if it's jeans, it's like, oh, these are 32 or these are 36. Like, is there an equivalent? I know we've made the joke in the past, but I know with like boys' clothes, they have the unfortunately named Husky, the Husky Bugle Boys. But I mean, there's no equivalent in
Dude, those Husky jeans, man, are no joke. I wore those all growing up. I mean, I think.
Me too. Yeah, that's traumatic.
It is. It was terrible because you're just like,
you have to go shop in the Husky section,
right? And it's like, why wouldn't I just go and
why
buy
can't
jeans?
I be there with my friends over there in the normal sizes?
Right, I could just
why don't they? That's what I'm saying. Like, why don't they just put the number on there? Why don't they just put like the inches of the waist? Like, why do they need some arbitrary label to label me Husky or fabulous or plus? It's just inches. It's a construct. It doesn't mean anything. All it is inches on a waist. Yeah, why do they need these labels?
But even just saying like, right, why can't I put in the normal section? That's what it does to someone like, I'm shopping in the like
I'm different
Husky jeans. I'm not the normal, but it's like, no, what if we just it's just a reflection
for your makeshift Kmart that you're constructing in your new society.
I can't talk about it, but I will tell you we're pretty deep into it.
You're going to be pretty progressive with your labeling, I assume.
There won't even be labels.
Yeah.
There won't even be clothing because we can't
just walk in and Eddie sizes you.
We won't get shipping.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So it's just whatever you're able to procure.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah, it's palmetto leaves from my pool.
Right.
If you need one of those,
right
there it is. And I'm not going to put a label on it.
You're not going to have Husky palmetto leaves.
No, we're all just palmetto leaves.
Right.
We are palmetto positive.
That reminds me of something. I rode by a store the other day and I was very confused because this is what the sign said. It said 5 511.11, and then it was like a plus sign. Okay, so it was like 511 plus, and I was baffled at what. And on the posters and things on the outside of the store were like men doing activities. Okay, so it was obviously, and it was a very masculine
Kind of
symbol.
activities.
And the only thing I can think of is that store for slightly tall men. Like,
I think so.
Just over
I think it's a
5'11".
big and tall store. So if you're 5'11" and up, we have your sizes here.
But that day, that's what I assumed, and I ended up Googling it, and I couldn't find out why they call it 5'11", but it's tactical gear. It's like stuff if you're like outdoorsy and tactical, but it seemed like 5'11" would be an odd, well, one, it's an odd name for a store, because like I said, I would think it's for people that are slightly tall, not super tall, just slightly above average, like 5'11" plus. It just seemed like a missed opportunity.
5'11" -6'3", and that's it. That's all we got. It's just slightly above average height. That's
Eddie, how do you feel about big and tall stores?
I mean, I think they serve a purpose. I'm glad that people who are looking for those sizes can find them, and there is a market for it, obviously. But I do wish that the alienation that I'm sure comes with it didn't exist. I wish everybody could.
Well, King of Queens had an episode about that where she was buying his clothes for him for years.
Yeah.
And he had kept growing in size over the years. And he would just come home and she's like, here's a new shirt.
Yeah.
And then he found out in one of the episodes that she was buying them from a big and tall store. And he was trying to then figure out, when did you start shopping there? Or like he was offended, and then like realized like it was 3 years ago that you crossed over, and she had to buy all his clothes, and it was like this whole episode,
And I
think the famous one-liner from that episode, it was like, she's like, I don't see why this is offended. He goes, well, I'm not tall.
And I do think that men, admittedly, like we have a lot easier time with this because it's just the societal acceptance of, a bigger guy. It's just, I think it's a lot easier on a guy. But I think in general, the idea that just a store wouldn't carry a good breadth of sizes is kind of crazy to me. And that you would be labeled because of the size you are, like you are labeled plus size. And it's a label that people have come to like embrace. And there's plus size models who call themselves plus size models and are very famous and wealthy and doing well. And so I appreciate the label, but just the idea that it's like, maybe let's just go labelless and you
just have sizes.
Yeah. Conversely, I won't shop at a certain store because I can't, there's two of them. You named one of them. The other one is Banana Republic because I can't get a pair of jeans in Banana Republic. And I'm like a big guy, but I can get a pair of jeans most places, but I am too big to represent Banana Republic. And you're like, well, that's just super, and I don't really care, but that's super messed up. And that's got to be a hard feeling for someone walking into like a Kmart to buy clothing. It feels like that won't be a problem for them. They can just walk into Kmart and buy.
And know that they can have clothes.
What a nice feeling. Yeah. Why not?
Good for you guys, Kmart.
Give them some dignity. Good job.
All right, well, that'll do it for Slices. Stay tuned. Up next, Zach Williams, Lone Bellow joins us.
As the world goes by, as the great forever, I will say goodbye on the road that's
You're listening to Andrew Bell. The song is Horizon, which is how we saw the storm coming, by looking at it. And it was coming slowly.
Right for Eddie's neighborhood.
Very slow. Very.
Cameron looked out on the horizon and was like, man, Eddie's neighborhood is going to get nailed. I think I'm going to clear. It actually looks, I'm going to help my neighbor cut down these trees and push up on his Tesla. Then I'm going to snuggle up and watch some television.
Well, this week's feature interview is brought to you by Tracker. Your phone, wallet, and keys, if you're anything like me, get misplaced quite often, and Tracker is here to fix that. 8 years ago, they released their first tracking device and changed everything, and now they've done it again with the all-new Tracker Pixel. It's the lightest Bluetooth tracking device on the market. Simply place the Tracker Pixel on whatever you tend to lose. Your keys, your wallet, even your cat. Or
electricity.
Your animal. You put it on their collar, or your electricity. And then when you misplace it, you can use your smartphone, and a 90 decibel alert will help you find it in seconds. I tell you, I use this 5 times a week. It works.
That's really funny that you do.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's great that you do.
Every morning, you do the triple pat. You look for the phone, the keys, and the wallet as you're leaving the house, and I inevitably don't have one of them. I put them in the same place every night, I think, and I can't find it.
You are one of the most organized, smart, disorganized people I know.
Thank you.
I think that's just how your brain works.
That was such a nice compliment until the last word.
No, but I mean, like,
but that's why I know my weaknesses. Hey, if Jim Caviezel taught me anything, be self-aware.
Yeah.
And I know that
Stay
I
in
need
your
help.
lane. Stay in
my lane. Seth Meyers, Apple. We all learn these lessons every day, and I know I need Tracker and Tracker Pixel, and it really works, and I'm happy.
Right.
And then I'm good. It take me 30 seconds, and I'm out the door. Hey, right now, Tracker is offering Relevant Podcast listeners a special deal. You can go to thetracker.com. Now, a few episodes ago, I said that the URL wrong. It's thetracker.com. It's TRACKR.com. Enter promo code RELEVANT to get 20% off any order. That's thetracker.com. Promo code RELEVANT for 20% off. The Lone Bellow is a group made up of Zach Williams, Kaneen Donahy Pipkin, and Brian Elmquist. They deliver a passionate, soulful, acoustic-based brand of Americana music. For years, they were Southerners based in Brooklyn, which prompted Zach to once describe their music as Brooklyn country music. But honestly, it's a lot more than that. The Lone Bellow is soulful, stirring, and honestly, unlike any band you'll see live. Zach used to be a worship leader, and that spiritual undertone comes through the Lone Bellow's music. You know that scene in Garden State where they like yell into the abyss?
Oh man, with that Simon and Garfunkel
it's
song.
It's like freeing and guttural and beautiful and moving. Yeah. Okay, that's honestly how I feel when I go see the Lone Bellow live. You have to go see them live. It's unbelievable of an experience. Well, after years of hard touring, the band relocated from Brooklyn to Nashville last year, and today, on the 15th, are releasing their third LP, Walk Into a Storm.
Can you imagine going from Brooklyn to Nashville?
I know. Why?
I mean, it had to have been property prices. Like, have you been to Nashville?
It was property prices. He told me that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not part of this interview, just when we were hanging out recently. He told me that's why. His kids were growing up and
I just
wanted a yard.
I can't fathom it, but I guess that's the reason.
Yep, it is.
Buy their album.
I hear there are no hurricanes there.
Yeah, he sounds pretty comfortable in Nashville.
Yeah, you still live in Nashville though.
It's pretty cool and it's pretty Nashville where I'm dry. There's no holes in my roof.
We caught up with Zach this week to talk about the album, property prices.
You have a hockey team.
The beginning of a new era for the band. Here is the Lone Bellow.
I like to think I'm a survivor, but my skin is getting tired. I go deeper in the water. I go deeper in the water. I like to think I'm a survivor, but my bones are getting tired. I go deeper in the water. I go deeper in the water.
Tell me a little bit about, Walk Into a Storm, which is coming out soon. Just in general, I want to hear about the record, but in particular with Walk Into a Storm, why'd you decide to go with Time's Always Leaving as the first single? What about it stuck out to you as like, this is the album this is the song we want to lead with?
We've always tried to kind of hide pretty serious lyrics in fun music. Sometimes we just don't hide it with fun music, but so that song started out as just like a poem that I wrote, and if you read the lyrics, it's kind of wrestling with that thing that's on all of our backs of like, is time passing too fast? Am I living with my eyes wide open and my heart wide open? Or did I just go through the motions today? Like, just that ancient old fear that humans have always had. And then it talks about time kind of as maybe like a mistress that is leaving. So we hid that with this like 4 on the floor, like really fun thing. And it was one of the first songs that we recorded on the album. And the way that Dave Cobb produces is so it's in room A and RCA Studios, which is the old studio that Chet Atkins built back in the 60s. It's historic, insane room. I mean, Elvis, Dolly, you name it, everybody. So Cobb has taken over that studio and made it his now with the help of some folks here in Nashville. one half of the room, or one section of the room, he's got these couches set up and this beautiful record player and these like incredible sounding speakers and a table and notepads. And you sit at the couches and basically tell him why you want to record the song that you're about to record. And then you all just kind of wrap your heads around like, here's what it's going to sound like. We had worked on it for like over a year before. Most of the time we would change it right there, right before we actually went in to record it. Times Always Leaving was one of those times. Anyways, then you'd walk back over to the other side of the room where all the mics were set up in a circle. And all of us, including Dave on the acoustic, would all then just record the song. Everybody would plug in and record right there. So you get this new energy of like a new idea, which was really, really fun. So I think we wanted to lead out with that one, basically because of that first thing that I was talking about of like hiding maybe some serious words in a fun song. I mean, that's what country music has been good at for a long time.
And tell her to stay, I'm not through yet. I'm afraid of a morning, and I dread a sunset.
The title track, Walk Into a Storm. What is it about that song that made you feel like I don't know, I've never recorded an album. Is there a lot of thought that goes into like, okay, this is the title track, this for sure is the best summation of the song? Or is it kind of like, I think this is the favorite song, we'll do it this way?
I was in Brooklyn for 10 years. I mean, we had all left our homes in Brooklyn and moved down here, and that was really hard. And we kind of got into this place as a band where it was like, are we still enjoying this? Like, we don't want to just go through the motions. We really want to make sure that we're like doing this and doing it right. And I think that just the lyrics of that song stuck out. And then when we started thinking about like the title for the record, I didn't want one of the potential singles to really be the title. So I either wanted to name the record something that wasn't the title of a song, or I wanted to name it something that kind of encapsulates the whole record as a whole. Because we did this thing with this record where we promised ourselves that we would only record 10 songs. We came in with 65, so just that narrowing down process was pretty complicated. And, you know, with recording this day and age, you know, it's so easy to just like layer sounds and this and that. And we just made some guidelines where we just wanted to pull the reins back on all of the sonic layers and try to make the actual like lyrics and energy pop just a little more naturally. And I don't know, I think that Walk Into a Storm, just that song sonically encapsulates that idea, and then also just represents like the record as a whole.
I recall those days we felt like giving up on each other. Days I feel your mind, we had nothing but trouble. The nights that I can't mention.
You said you decided almost ahead of time what you wanted to say, or maybe what the general narrative would be. Is that something you can put into words?
You know, I think if you listen to the songs like Deeper in the Water, Walk Into a Storm, that's definitely us trying to encourage each other about the steps that we're taking, and you know, this locking arms that we've done for the past few years of living life together and doing this music together. Like, all right, here we go. And then there's a song on there called Read Between the Lines that was even like a word of encouragement to other artists, which I had never done before. And then also with May You Be Well, I can't wait to sing that live, just to like try to say that to whoever is standing in front of us listening. May your heart be open. Whatever changes, the wind might be blowing, especially in the state of our country right now.
May you be well. May your heart be open. So whatever changes, that wind may be blowing. Whatever darkness you are concerned with, may you find peace that is everlasting. Even when circumstances they are crashing, oh, you can stand firm on the everlasting. May you be well.
That was the Lone Bellow. Stay tuned. Up next, before you buy a $1,000 iPhone. You're listening to Washed Out. The song is Hard to Say Goodbye. Hard to Say Goodbye. Okay, it is time for a game. Now, normally I'm here for the whole show, but here's what we got to do. I need to go make a nice cold sandwich in my fridge. Jesse, this is your show. This is your brainchild.
Jesse's going to be in
Okay,
charge
here
of
we
the
go.
show.
Jesse's in charge of the
Pressure's
show.
on.
I'm coming back after Jesse's done with this segment. I'll be back.
I'm rolling into 4 years on the show. Still not in
feedback.
charge.
I'm still not in charge of the game
Not even
segment. We
close.
can't trust you with that.
No, I wouldn't.
The game is called Before You Buy a $1,000 iPhone. Take it away, Jesse.
All right, so as you guys saw this weekend, Apple recently released their big iPhone 10, with X, the Roman numeral X. It was a big deal, a lot of cool features, but it costs $1,000. The price point for this is going to be
Cameron's out of the room. Can you quit showboating and just get to it? I mean, this is already.
Apple has a big iPhone 10 coming out. What would you do with $1,000?
All right, just get to it. Who's on the line? Come on. Terrible.
Anyway, so what I was saying so we have a game. The idea for this game is I want to ask you. That's a very high price point for a phone, and we'll see if people are willing to pay. But prices are arbitrary, can be somewhat arbitrary things. Why does $1,000 sound like a lot? It's a price point that they're really curious if people will cross that threshold to buy a phone. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to go out and I scoured Craigslist and I scoured eBay to find things that cost a certain amount of money to give you an idea of the value of $1,000. So how this game will work is, Eddie, because you're Mr. Smart Guy, you are going to be playing against our good friend Hot Dog Mallory, and I am going to read the description of a Craigslist product or an eBay product, and you have to tell me if it costs more or less than the brand new iPhone. Eddie, do you understand the rules?
I mean, yeah, basically. I'm just happy to talk to Hot Dog Mallory. It's been a long time.
All right, so on the line with us is our good friend Hot Dog Mallory. Now, you may wonder, where did she get this nickname? Mallory, we first became friends with, I believe it was Halloween of last year, when we called her to find out about her Halloween costume plan, which involved her dressing up as a hot dog and selling tiny humans rolled in foil for $1. Mallory, real quick, explain the inspiration for that costume one more time.
It was just, a moment in high school where I was kind of lost and not knowing what I could do to step up my comedic value in life. And I decided, why not just vend people as a hot dog? And so It was like a 6-year in the making type of outfit that I finally decided to do this year.
Sometimes we find new people for the show, and sometimes they find us. But I really feel like we've come across one of our own here.
Mallory, for people that want to see her costume, they can follow her at This Is Mallory, Malori, and you can see the entire costume, including footlong humans, $1, which she is vending dressed as a hot dog. So
now,
hot dog Mallory.
Mallory, I have to ask you a question. This is Eddie. You said that you work at Sam's. Can I please just pray to the gods that you work in the place where you sell those hot dogs? Is that your job?
I wish, but no, it's not. I work at the corporate offices.
Did they sell hot dogs at the corporate offices?
They do actually, but nobody eats them there.
Wow, they're so good.
Oh, wow. Maybe
they're pretty good. Nathan's.
Oh,
so are you like high up at Sam's then?
I am not. No.
Are you Sam?
Actually,
are you over the hot dog division?
I'm not Sam Walton, but I did go to his school of business, so we'll see what happens.
Very cool.
Hold on, what school of business are you in?
I went to the Sam Walton School of Business at the University of Arkansas.
Oh, cool!
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah. I had no idea that was a thing, but now it makes sense that there would be. He's obviously very good at what he does.
Yeah. Well, Mallory, your business background may help you in the game today. The game is called Before You Spend $1,000 on an iPhone. And as I explained to Eddie just moments ago, that Apple just released their brand new iPhone, and it's going to cost $1,000. But because prices are such arbitrary things, I want to read you some products that I found on Craigslist and eBay, and you have to tell me if you think they are worth more or less than $1,000. The same price as the brand new iPhone. Hot Dog Mallory, would you like to go first?
Absolutely.
Tyler, will you keep track of points? Because normally this is Cameron's job, and I know that I'd cheat, so you keep track.
I'm on it. No, I got it covered, guys. No worries.
And once again, Hot Dog Mallory, I feel like you have a pretty big advantage because of your business background. Eddie is not knowledgeable about very many things, so you have a huge step up. You have a huge advantage on him during this game.
Yeah, I majored in rude podcasting in school, and that's all I could do.
Well, you're excelling currently, so let's do it.
That was a Hot Dog Mallory burn, and I accept it because I am not a nice person. Hot Dog Mallory.
All right, Mallory. So the first one is this comes from eBay. It is the product is a handmade guinea pig suit of armor. Here's the description. Lucky mostly wore his armor to begrudgingly pose for photos. Once on top of a remote-controlled jet ski. Don't worry, he never rode the thing in water. I don't think he would have had the balance. Lucky passed away this weekend and no longer requires his noble suit of armor. How much did the guinea pig's handmade suit of armor go for? Was it more or less than the $1,000 it cost to buy the new iPhone?
Quick question. Have you made up any of these, or are these 100% true?
Great
These
question.
are all 100% true, I promise.
Okay.
Mallory is a businessman. That's a great question.
Yeah,
that is a great question. And a fair question.
I mean, I know how you play games, so I'm just trying to win here. I think that it sold for more than 1,000 because this is some weird, like, niche community that wants hamster armor.
Mallory, you are correct. It sold for over $1,100 in an eBay auction. Congratulations.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Eddie, are you feeling a little intimidated that she's coming out of the gate with
I'm feeling very intimidated. One, she's extremely smart, so she's already just heads above me because I'm, as we know, not. And she's also very snarky and seems to have plenty of running water and electricity right now,
which Eddie does not because of the hurricane. So, all right, Eddie, this is another rodent one. This is the rodent round. This is a human-sized hamster wheel, and this is the description. This is from Craigslist. Available for immediate pickup. Can accommodate up to 200 pounds. Fully functional. Not recommended for houses with small children or animals. 50 pounds of shredded newspaper also available. This is important and all capitals and all capital letters. I will not have this in my house any longer.
It's a human-sized hamster wheel?
That is correct. In all capitals, I will not have this in my house any longer.
I have to ask a question. Is shipping a part of this final number?
No, it's immediate pickup. You have to come get it. And it does say immediate, which was capitalized as well.
All right.
He seems in a pretty big hurry to get this thing out of there.
Yeah, I'm going to trust Jim Caviezel's word in my heart and say that it is less than 1,000.
You are correct. This one was actually free. He's literally giving it away.
They got to be just wanting to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Low price.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, we're all tied up.
All right, Maui, tie ball game. A 10-year-old grilled cheese sandwich with the image of the Virgin Mary, but it's important to note it has a bite taken out of it.
How could it not?
10 years old.
So it's a 10-year-old grilled cheese sandwich that someone took a bite out of, but it appears to have the image of the Virgin Mary on it. Is it more or less than the new iPhone?
I want to say more, but my gut is saying less, so let's go with less.
Mallory, I'm sorry. It sold for $28,000 on eBay.
And that's why the whole world is super messed up. Like, I gotta say, most of the hard conversations we're having right now in America probably boiled down to the fact that thing was $2,800 or $28,000?
$28,000.
Yeah, it all comes back to that.
Wow.
I did the math. That bite alone was probably worth like $4,000.
Wow.
But it's probably a good grilled cheese sandwich. All right, Eddie. An autographed photo of Mr. T, who is holding an extremely large roll of Smarties candy for some reason. It's a very oversized roll of Smarties candy, and it is autographed by Mr. T. Is that more or less than the price of the new iPhone?
It's hard because in my heart, I believe that it's worth much more than 1,000. Logic says you can't get $1,000 for a Mr. T autograph. Oh man, I'm going to go with more than 1,000. I think you threw me a zinger.
It is on sale right now on eBay for $39.99, much less than the price of the new iPhone. They can't give those things away.
No. So, all right. As it turns out, Hot Dog Mallory and I are fairly evenly terrible at this game.
All right, Mallory. This one is live ducks for a party. This is actually someone trying to buy something or rent them. But I want to let you know his proposed price that he's willing to pay is more or less than the new iPhone. Here's the description for live ducks for a party. Need ducks for a party game. I prefer the owner remain with the ducks to ensure proper care and safety to both my and your standards. Details, : ducks will be gently secured into passenger seats of a model train set. Origami hats of $1, $5, and $100 bills will be placed on each of the ducks' heads. The idea they'll go around the train set and party guests can try to pluck the origami hats off. How much is he willing to pay for these party ducks? Is it more or less than the price of the new iPhone?
I think less.
You're correct. This guy's only willing to pay $40 for those ducks, which sounds like he's got someone willing to do it. Is quite a deal. All right, let's do 2 more rounds each. How about that?
That's great.
We'll do one more round. We'll do one more round, and then it's the final sudden death round for all the marbles.
I got to tell you, I'm pretty competitive, but I'm still rooting for Hot Dog Mallory.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Thank you.
we'll see how it shakes out here, Eddie.
It's anybody's game. It's anybody's game.
All right,
it really is.
Keep going.
This one is the ability to trade lives with a man named Ian Usher, included all of his worldly possessions, including his home, car, his friends, and even a potential position as a sales associate at his job.
Wow. Like, smart money says, well, all those things are worth more than 1,000. But for a guy who's willing to trade it all, you got to wonder if he's not just trying to give it away. Yeah. I'm going to go sadly under 1,000.
I thought the same thing, but it actually sold for $300,000.
What on earth? That's really interesting.
Okay. All right, Hot Dog Mallory. A woman in Utah sold her forehead, space on her forehead to tattoo, and she was offering it to any company they wanted to tattoo a slogan on her forehead. How much did she went through with it as well. How much did she get on eBay for the price of her forehead?
Oh.
Definitely more.
Has to be. Hopefully is.
He made $10,000 and now has goldenpalace.com tattooed on her forehead.
Oh my God. What a terrible thing.
Hard.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hard to hear.
So Mallory clearly won.
Yeah. Let's do Mallory,
right,
tell you what, you definitely won here. I'm going to do a lightning round. How about that? And I'm just going to read them and you say more or less. Okay. Ready?
Okay.
A cornflake that was shaped like the state of Illinois.
More.
Correct. $1,300. Pharrell's giant Grammys hat.
Oh.
More?
More, $44,000 purchased by Arby's. And finally, it was actually purchased by Arby's. And finally, a giant light bright mural of the Last Supper. And what I mean giant, I mean this thing stands over 5 feet tall.
Less.
$15,000 on eBay.
Oh my god!
Man, this game is really hard. I gotta say, Mallory, you've got a lot in your life and a lot to look forward to, and you're obviously really bright, and you're gonna make. I don't know that you're ever going to have more success than you have in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think you only got one wrong, and it was a light bright Last Supper. It was pretty impressive.
It was really impressive to watch you work.
So Mallory, I gotta ask. We're coming up. We're recording this. It's early September. Halloween is upon us. It's right around the corner. It's just enough time for you to start preparing this year's costume. I feel like everyone in your life knows that you set the bar extremely high with the Hot Dog Mallory costume. Have you already made plans for what you're going to be this year? Because, like I said, the world is waiting right now.
Sadly, I have not. I think I thought of one thing, but it completely slipped my mind because I didn't write it down and it wasn't as good as the hot dog. So I don't know if I'll be able to live that up ever.
I'm going to give you a suggestion.
Okay.
This year's hot relevant listener costume is Chandler. Chandler Strange.
Jeez.
So you got to dream about that and you got to do what you do. But I'm just going to say it's a pretty hot item this year.
All right. How about this, Mallory? You have a couple weeks to think about it. And really, I mean, we really want you to spend some time thinking about this. And we're going to circle back with you before Halloween and find out what you're going to be this year. Is that a deal?
That sounds great. I'll pray about it for sure.
Please do. I would suggest going to see your pastors. If there's a ministry time at your church, you want to raise your hand, you want to go forward, you want to get all kinds of input from mentors and people you trust, because we're going to read this on the podcast, and it's a pretty big deal.
I'm not sure if you've ever heard of the Relevant Podcast, but you're on it.
Hot Dog Mallory, thank you so much for taking some time to play the game with us.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, congrats on the win. We can't wait to hear about your Halloween costume.
Bye, Mallory.
Nice job being very smart. Well done.
All right, see you later.
Bye, buddy.
Bye.
That was before you buy a brand new iPhone. Up next.
That was before you buy an iPhone. Up next,
your feedback.
How they feel, keep your ears split for me. Can't shoot my face if you spit for me. Spit for me. Eyes low chin, every shoegazer. Moonwalking, R.I.P. Stanley Kubrick. You had you some birthdays, could you prove it? Show me the wisdom in your movement. Show me some wisdom in your movement. Feeling you provide, feeling you provide. I know, feelings I know.
You're listening to Frank Ocean. The song is Provider, which is what Eddie is trying to be for his neighborhood.
Yeah. It started off as that.
Yeah.
Now it's much more of a...
Now it's enforcer.
It's a dictatorship, enforcer, boss kind of situation.
Right.
Mob boss. Not the benevolent magazine boss.
Right.
Like the... It's just, I'm saying it's gotten awful.
You have all the packing peanuts that everybody needs.
Right.
So you wield the power.
Yeah,
Frank Ocean.
He who holds the packing peanuts. We all know the parable.
I haven't seen Game of Thrones, but from what I can surmise,
I learned it in a Jim Caviezel movie.
If Frank Ocean and Jim Caviezel taught us anything,
right,
it's that he who holds the packing peanuts is the provider.
Right. It's a Game of Thrones situation,
right,
where I've got all the dragons.
Right.
I've got all the magic powers.
I've never seen it. Too much nudity.
From what I can surmise from other people's tweets.
Gotcha.
So the blonde-haired woman with
There's
dragons,
something about winter.
And it's on
coming.
the way.
Yeah, it's around the corner, which will be great for you because it'll be a little cooler than it is right now.
Right.
Well, it's time for your feedback. Last week on the show, we got talking about worst dating stories, worst date stories. And so that was the question of the week. We asked you to give us your worst date story. You guys, some of you hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast, but not many because the stories were a lot longer than 140 characters.
It was overwhelming.
You guys went over to the podcast episode page at relevantmagazine.com. Here are a few of our favorites.
Man, lots of feedback this week. You guys have had some rough ones.
It's like Ken Burns was writing all these.
I think there's some really good ones on here. You guys should go check them out. But I think one of my early favorites is this one from Carly. She says, I met a guy online. We had gone out on a couple of times when he suggested a dinner and bowling date. What I didn't realize was that dinner would be at the bowling alley. He picked me up. We walked to the bowling alley and he ordered a pizza for us to eat before we started bowling. He ordered a kind of pizza.
Which, step one, that's it. It's just be done. There's nothing wrong with
Why? What's wrong with that?
A bowling first date?
Oh, that was a first date.
No,
Yes.
we had gone out.
no,
She
no,
said
no.
a couple of
Bowling.
times. She said we gone out a couple
No,
of times.
she's had a few times.
Yeah.
So this is now we're settling into just normal dates.
Yeah.
She's fine. I'm sorry. My
so
apologies.
So far, not terrible. Nothing terrible yet.
Oh, okay.
If you're not whining and dining, grabbing some za at the
alley.
lanes, it's fine.
It's kind of quaint. It's nice. As we sat down to eat, he started asking me what my church taught about some controversial theological issues. Red flag.
Uh-oh.
At the bowling alley.
Red flag. Yeah.
A little small talk.
Huge red flag.
Never did he ask me what I thought, but what my church taught. Well, apparently he didn't like at least one of my answers because when we started bowling, he did not speak another word to me again that night. It was the worst bowling game ever. I tried everything in my power to lighten the mood and at least make him smile. He just bowled on in silence, denied my high fives, and then drove me home with music playing without a word, dropped me off, and I never heard from him again.
I'm curious to know
What could you possibly say that would offend his theology that much?
And again, it's not necessarily that she agreed with her church. It's that this is the church she attends and what they teach.
Yeah.
That's
and
bizarre.
why didn't he just have the dignity to be like, this isn't going to work out. Now I'm gonna bowl in silence like a psychopath and then drive you home in silence and never call. Like that makes me think there's something wrong with this person because at least if you're going to be offended, just be like, hey, listen, I cannot date someone who goes to a church who is knowingly goes to a church like that. It's over. Have fun. We tried, but no, to just sit there and bowl silent, that is so weird. And I kind of respect him for it.
And denying the high fives. Denying the high
Denying
fives
the
is crazy.
high five is a real low move. Like, give her a high five.
Well, but in fairness to the guy, her church was the Scientology arm of Westboro Baptist. So it feels like maybe all he could do was get out quietly.
You still bowl a polite game.
I would like to not read the feedback that Bryce wrote because Bryce is a nice person, but the first line is, my worst date story is with my beautiful wife. And I'm going to tell you, that date worked out. I don't even care about the rest of it.
True.
Bryce, congratulations.
Yeah, the ends justifies the means, man.
Congratulations. I'm sure it was terrible, but in the end, you won, my friend. Sorry, pal.
Okay, this one is from Katie, and this is I think she's describing her date's worst date ever. Like, this sounds totally fine for her, but it sounds like her date had a pretty terrible time. She said, my first date ended up being on his birthday. Again, what's wrong with that for her? Got pho. I made him pay. He prayed.
I think it's pho.
Yeah.
Pho. Pho.
They don't have that in Loverland.
They don't have Vietnamese cuisine up there.
I refuse to call it pho.
It's either barbecue or Chick-fil-A or your house.
So anyway, so the guy prayed over the pho. They watched TV with my parents, and Cincy says, I stuffed my hands in my pockets when we said goodbye because I didn't want to hug. Katie, you got the assignment wrong. It's not what's the worst date that you've given someone. It's your worst date. This poor guy, it was his birthday. He prayed over the food. He bought the food. He's hung out with your parents, and then you wouldn't even give him a hug when the night ended? Come on, Katie, that's just cold up. I mean,
why would she write that as being the worst date ever?
Katie is coming clean here. I think she's had this on her conscience for a while now.
It must be.
I'm only going to read one in its entirety, and it is from Rebecca Ridlington, and it is.
Oh, thanks. I'm glad you're taking this one, Eddie. It's great.
Rebecca, we said we wouldn't talk about this.
And Rebecca, props to you. This is a terrible date. Wanting to prove my point to a friend, I'm trying to read it just like Rebecca would. Wanting to prove my point to a friend, trying to convince me that online dating wasn't terrible, I went on a first date with a fellow who seemed pretty decent and normal, a law professor at a local university. I made sure to have a defined escape, meeting friends for another engagement later that afternoon. He started out by being late, which I wasn't super thrilled about, but let it slide. We planned to go for a walk along the canal that led towards the city center. Everything lovely so far, right?
This is a daytime walk. That's the date?
It's not my favorite, but you try not to. She's trying to keep boundaries around
Weirdos
it.
hang out at the park during the day,
But it turns out a weirdo did hang out at the park. We planned to go for a walk. As we were walking along, he just randomly took his shirt off, which instantly made me super uncomfortable and felt really awkward, especially as it was a sunny but cool spring day, not the height of summer. I literally am chopping down an oak tree in my backyard last night.
Yeah.
I never took my shirt
Fully
off.
clothed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, full many layers of clothing.
You've instituted very strict no toplessness rules for men in your neighborhood since you've taken over. From my understanding,
No one is going to see this body.
Enforceable by chainsaw.
Yeah, I am. It is a fully never nude culture. I tried to play it cool and pretended like it was cool. Thankfully, he blended in somewhat during our stroll because people tend to bike and walk and run along the canal. So being shirtless wasn't.
But he really was trying to play it suave, like I'm a beefcake, and you're going to be impressed.
Yeah.
So then they make it to the city center, and you assume at this point he's going to put back on his Ed Hardy t-shirt and continue on. So now they're sitting there at a market, and it seems weird, really weird, that he doesn't have a shirt on. She said,
I like this guy too, man. But continue.
No way.
I like his style.
So our dear Rebecca
He
said...
wants her to know what she's getting into.
Our dear long-suffering Rebecca said, I was trying to be nice and suggested iced tea since he was sweaty by this time, even without the shirt. I mean, he admitted after we ordered that he hadn't even bothered to bring his wallet, so I picked up the iced tea, but was becoming less impressed by the moment. Although my meeting with friends was still a while away, I still received a well-timed text that allowed me an early exit. He kept walking as we went to a similar bus stop, although blessedly along different routes. People were staring at the sweaty, shirtless guy, but I was trying to pretend like it was fine and wasn't as embarrassed as I was. This is the last and final note of it, which I love. This was until a homeless man, who obviously agreed with me that it was super awkward, started catcalling my date from where he was seating, yelling at my date, going, "Hey man, great body. Little cold out here, but looking hot." and she
That guy's awesome.
That's what Jesse would do.
I respect the homeless guy in this date story too. There's a lot of respect going around here.
Yeah.
Okay, finish it up.
Well, I will say,
I'm guessing no goodbye hug.
As I bid, you got to hear it. As I bid my admittedly cool farewell, he enthusiastically suggested we do this again sometime, and then came in for a sweaty, clammy hug, which was the most unpleasant thing. It was pretty terrible overall, but I have definitely gotten some mileage and many a laugh about the shirtless date. So not a total waste. We got married 1 year later.
No.
Do you think? Okay. Do you think the guy is like? He's like either one. He's like super in shape. You know, he shops at the 511. He's got a good bod, slightly above normal height. Just want to show it off. Or do you think he's got like a sweating problem and the taking the shirt off, hoping he'd cool himself and to not have a really sweaty shirt?
No.
Which scenario is it?
I think it's the ego thing. It's the I want to impress her. She's going to be so impressed. And then I think the reality of the second is his internal justification of why he kept it off.
Oh no, yeah.
But like he definitely jumped into that river thinking she was going to, take the bait.
But as someone who like tends to sweat when they get nervous, like I could see sweating on a date, sweat when you public speak. You bring an identical shirt. You prepare for this.
Exactly.
Because you know this about yourself.
Another
You're
shirt,
prepared.
an identical shirt. You figure out a way to just slip real quick into the green room, switch it up, come back out on stage. You still look cool, even though you've got one shirt that's basically transparent hanging there in the back room.
Interesting.
Right? You figure this out, but you don't not wear a shirt. And I don't care if you have a beautiful body like Chandler. Like you don't take off your shirt on a
any date unless you're on the beach.
Yes,
Well, you wouldn't go to the beach on your first date, or else you're just like walking along at sunset. So you still don't.
Right. We're
no
talking
first
like
date is a shirt coming
a
off.
clear water sports event.
Right.
Like, okay, let's go rent jet skis. Let's go to a beach where it's clear that we're hanging out at the beach.
All right, I'm with you on that.
But there's no...
And it was a premeditated, we are going to do a water activity together, and we both come with that sort of attire.
But even that, you still need to wear a shirt that has moisture wicking capabilities in case you're wrong about it.
Right.
Right? Because if we're hanging out on the beach and we're not going to go in the water and it's just really more of a, sit there and look at the water kind of moment, you don't want to be shirtless accidentally.
Right.
I'm just saying, Rebecca.
The other curious thing is the time of year. It sounded like it was, if the homeless guy was jeering at him, it doesn't sound like there's a lot of shirtlessness going on. You know, like it sounds
Well, the
like
guy who's
it
saying
sounds
it's
like
all chilly.
even this guy realized the temperatures are too low. Like if it's below 75,
shirts on.
Just as a general rule, keep the shirt on. Keep the shirt on. You know, water even at the beach, even that's too cool. You know.
Do we?
You're a creep. You're a creep ball if it comes off and it's below 75 degrees.
On behalf of our entire species, Rebecca, our apologies.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's super messed up.
Yeah. If you notice, there's a common theme if you look at all the feedback. Pretty much every awkward, terrible date was caused by the dude.
Yeah.
So sorry about that, y'all.
Because women have it figured out.
Right.
Just be a normal person. Wear a normal person's clothing. Say
If Jim
normal.
Caviezel's taught us anything.
Say normal things.
Yeah.
Be a normal person.
Yep.
And they are able to efficiently
don't
do
take
that.
clothes off at inappropriate times and high five somebody if they reach
If
out
they
their
give you
hand
a
to
high
high
five.
five.
That's right.
If you follow those simple rules, you'll not end up in a question of the week like this one day.
Well, there's a lot more where those came from. Go check them out on last week's episode page at relevantmagazine.com. Okay, it's time for this week's
Editorial question of the week.
earlier we were talking about Old Spice making a movie about itself.
Yep.
And how, when did this happen? When did Old Spice become cool? Man, this is a marketing reboot. If I ever saw one, good for them.
Kmart catching up with the times, being body positive and caring about the whole people.
We want to know from you what other brand or what should be the next brand that gets a marketing reboot and goes from lame to awesome.
I really wish you would have thought of
A rhyming word for lame. Lame to, in my head, I was trying to find one, but I couldn't.
I could see you searching because I felt a little pause right before awesome.
Yeah, awesome. There you go.
I got two examples. One, British Knights, BK.
Yes.
Those shoes were rad back in the day. You guys remember BK?
Yeah, but I think it has to be a brand that still exists. It's
British
just
Knights might. I think we need to do some Googling. The other one is Oshkosh Bagosh. They're limiting themselves with toddlers. If they came out with a dope line, I would rock some Oshkosh. It's an established brand. I trusted it when I was a kid. I got no reason not to trust it now.
I think they have full-grown train conductor adult overalls.
They need to rebrand. They need to rebrand, man.
Bugle Boy.
I just got to say.
Bugle Boy.
Yeah.
Bugle Boy could
It's
totally
already
come back.
it is making a comeback.
Yeah.
Though, and like vintage clothing.
I could totally see
Normcore.
that. Z Cavaricis.
Yeah.
With the pleats in the front.
Yeah. Cold water, internet access, electricity.
They don't need a rebrand. You just need access to them.
I'm
They
pretty.
need to work on their distribution.
I'm pretty limited on what
Dude,
I can handle.
hey, I
right
just
now.
checked it out. BK is still around, man.
Air conditioning.
All right. So tell us the next brand that should get an Old Spice level reboot and go from lame to cool.
And how
they're going to do it. That's right. And how they're going to do it.
And let's keep it short.
Yeah.
Right. Just settle down.
The best ideas are simply communicated.
Yeah. Read Old Man in the Sea. It's conservation of words, but painting a whole story. Read that and then leave your feedback, I'm saying.
There you go. Hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast, or you can post your ideas on the podcast episode page at relevantmagazine.com. Many thanks to this episode's sponsors for making the show possible. With Squarespace, you can go over to squarespace.com and start your free trial today, and then enter offer code RELEVANT to get 10% off your first purchase. Thanks also to Tracker. Go to thetracker.com, TRACKR.com. Enter promo code RELEVANT to get 20% off any order. Thanks also to our guests for joining us today. Remember, the Lone Bellow's new album, Walk Into a Storm, is out now. You can also follow them on Twitter at the Lone Bellow.
Despite the insensitivity, still a great album.
And thanks to, it is, honestly, and go see them live for real. And thanks to Hot Dog Mallory for joining us for the game. When you're online, go check out the new issue of Relevant. You can view the issue at relevantmagazine.com now. You probably will dig the Father John Misty cover story, but there's a lot of great content in the issue as well. You can also get them right now. They're front row on the magazine section at every Barnes & Noble around the country. Go check it out. Newsstand Sport helps us continue to grow.
Yeah.
And there's a special subscription offer while you're at the website. If you want to subscribe, you can get the magazine for a great rate today. On that note, we'll wrap it up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Eddie Koffoltz.
I'm Chandler String.
I'm Tyler Huckabee.
I'm Jesse Carey.
We'll see you next week.
Something's got me lying down. Mystery can't get out. Old roads lead me back to you. Places I've been, got to find you.
Thank you for listening to the Relevant Podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to leave us a review on iTunes. Check out other shows from the Relevant Podcast Network in the podcast section at relevantmagazine.com. And while you're there, browse exclusive podcast merchandise at our online store. Make sure to subscribe to Relevant Magazine. Info is available at relevantmagazine.com/subscribe.
He who holds the packing peanuts. We all know the parable.